Kendra, Ash, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Beautiful. All right, so you guys were just up here, so let me just kind of intro Kendra and Ash to you real quick. I've got an opportunity to meet this couple. I remember the first time that I really met Kendra, or at least my most memorable moment meeting Kendra was actually in Utah, where I remember she sent me, even right before that, she sent me a message, probably like 2 days before that, saying, hey, I was on a Zoom and I just got really compelled to show up. Like last minute, I was not going to go to this event, and I made a decision to, it was something I heard on the Zoom, I think is exactly what she said. There's something I heard, or I was just really compelled, and I showed up. And I remember being in this little intimate huddle with about 5 or 6 girls and Josh. I'm pretty sure it was Josh, right, Kendra? Wasn't it Josh there with us? Okay. It was my only
You're breaking up a little bit.
Am I? How bad? No? Am I breaking up? Anybody? No? Okay. I think it's you guys.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I think. Do you have good internet?
We're on the Disney Wi-Fi, so I just switched to my hotspot.
There, that's perfect. You're crystal clear.
Okay.
Crystal clear. Yes. All right. So, Kendra, if you can remember, we were in that small intimate huddle, and she just started to share with us a little bit of her story. This is the first time I got a chance to hear her story. And I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, I think it had almost all of us choked up or in tears. Or I mean, we were just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I remember that night before we all kind of broke out and broke up, she's like, but I don't really know how, I'm going to talk to people about, this and me and what I believe in and my dynamic and whatever. And I said, what are you talking about? Like, you need to say what you just spent the last 20 minutes pouring into all of us, being incredibly transparent, incredibly convicted about what it is that you're doing and why you're so passionate about it. And she's like, well, what do you mean? Like, what parts of it? And I was like, all of it, like all of it. I said, you're in a place right now where this culture is very different. It's about transparency. It's about being authentic. It's about putting your weaknesses out there and allowing people to just see who you are. And here's what's awesome, because we don't have, and I only say this because, Kendra has a background as well. She's had a previous experience in and around this space. That's as far as we really need to dive into it. But she's had a previous experience, and she brought a lot at that period of time. She brought a lot of her past experiences and allowed them to start controlling her future expectations of what she had here. But I remember her saying that. She's like, well, what parts should I share? And this is something that hopefully resonates with some of you that have maybe been in and around this before, because this isn't the first time I've had the talk with somebody that's coming into this space. They're like, well, I'm supposed to be like invincible, and I'm supposed to be the guru, and I'm supposed to not show anyone in my organization my weaknesses or whatever. And I said, here's what you have to understand. We give up that credibility to have relatability here. We want to relate to people. We want to be absolutely as real as possible. So my exact response to her, and I'll finish up by saying this, was every single bit of everything that you just shared with us. I said, go out and share that with the world. She literally, now I was expecting her to work her way up to that over a period of the next weeks and months to be able to share that. Oh no, like literally 5 hours later, we're waking up, I get on my Facebook and she's on there live. And no joke, Kendra, how many messages did you get back from just sharing your heart transparently? And how did that propel your business moving forward? Go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, it was. Let me preface by saying I prayed beforehand, and then I blacked out. Like I was just like something else, just like spilled the beans of my guts of everything. And then all of a sudden, and I like got done. And I was like, I can never watch that. I have no idea what I said. And hundreds of comments started rolling in, hundreds of messages, and our business propelled from Circle of Champion to way like, I mean, it went tenfold, fast, really fast. And then it wasn't even just our business that it affected. It was people on our team who were inspired by that video were then sharing that with other people, and then people were joining them based on that too. So a lot of our team, even, I'll meeting people on our team and stuff, and they're like, wow, I saw your video. I saw this video, it really spoke to me about this. It really spoke to me about that. So, I mean, that's definitely when things really took off in a different way. It started as transactions. Obviously, ketones are powerful. You can make it pretty far with ketones, but if you add the product in with the realness, like that's where the magic was.
Hopefully all of you heard. So this is a big distinction for me. And this is something that we're going to be talking about on a hacking leadership call here tomorrow with the champions. But I want everyone to think about this and hear this for a second. Many of you have absolutely, you have crushed it at making transactions with ketones. Some of you wonder why yet has my community, has the business aspect, why have the transactions not moved into now the space of building real community and real business, right? And I'm telling many of you right now, this is the differentiator. It's you being willing to be ugly real. What do I mean when I use the term ugly real? Everything that you think is ugly about yourself or your experiences or your past, meaning you think it's ugly. Just so you know, no one else thinks it's ugly. You think it's ugly. It's in your own head. It's in your own mind. You putting those things away and tucking them away because you feel like they're weaknesses. No, it's those things that help you grow, right? It's those things that absolutely resonate with most people because they got the same damn problems that you do. So the point is when you're willing to be authentic and real and really open up to people, you will start to create relationship. Transaction will start to become relationship. When it becomes relationship, people can trust you. And if they can trust you, they can now start to follow the same vision that you have. When they can follow the same vision that you have, now you're building a volunteer army. And when you're building a volunteer army, you can take over the freaking world. You can accomplish all those dreams that you've been posting here for the last 3 or 4 days. And you can start to really make things happen. But it's going to have to come from within. You first have to open up to people and be willing to be transparent and become real. That's what this couple is. And I got a chance to spend a few weeks ago with them. They came up here to Alaska. We had some fun little adventures. It was a short little trip, but I get to know more and more of their heart, and they wear their heart on their sleeve all the time. And you wonder why they have such a big group and a big business and a big team that's willing to follow them anywhere they go. And here's the reason why: they're real. They can trust them. They build real relationships, and that's so absolutely key. So I'm going to kind of switch this back real quick. So Kendra, Ash, let's just tell us a little bit real quick. Give us a quick few minutes, where are you originally from? What are your backgrounds? How did you come upon this? Just bring us the whole way up to, how you found Prüvit, and then I'll start asking a few questions from there. So we want to get a chance to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a health and wellness background. Was always super passionate about it. Had my son. I'm gonna kind of take you guys back. And some of you know my story, some of you don't. So I'm gonna take you just a little bit back to even bring you to back when. When I got pregnant, I had my son. Was a single mom right off the jump, and was trying to manage grad school and teaching and single momming, and that's how I came into the space of what used to be called network marketing, which is now community-based marketing in my life. That's how I came into the space and found myself totally inspired by the idea of being able to build something with other people. I spent a lot of time in that space working on my own health and wellness, but it was just never quite enough. If I felt great, I didn't look great. If I looked great, I didn't feel great. And over a period of 2 years, and the straining and the pushing and the pulling and the hiding behind, so I was telling one story to the world, that I was successful and I was going on all these trips and I had this amazing, life going on. And behind the scenes, I was putting my son's toys and all of our stuff into a storage unit that I couldn't afford, and filling up my Jeep Liberty that I didn't know how I was going to afford with all the rest of our stuff, and wondering how I was going to make this happen. It was never a matter of if, it was just how and when. and not being able to be transparent, not being able to be real about the crying behind the scenes and the broken place and so after a while that took a toll. That took a really big toll on me mentally and emotionally. And so I went to a very dark place. I started to take Adderall again. I'm gonna be real with you guys here. I'd always taken Adderall, but I had stopped taking it for a little while. Started taking that again, prescribed that again, trying to keep up with my life. And what it did was I checked out mentally. From Camden. This is kind of bringing you closer to, this is probably like 6 months before Prüvit.
It's dark.
I didn't want to be a mom anymore. I didn't want to, wasn't there for you. We barely talked. We were fighting constantly. It was a total stress and strain. We were completely broke, living in her grandparents' guest house. Like it's basically a cabin, no locks on the windows, no nothing. We had nothing, literally nothing.
On top of my baggage.
Yeah, she was, and I'll let her share this. This is, and no, she's never even shared this, so she's gonna share part of her stuff too.
Yeah, I talked about sharing it while we're here. But yeah, like on top of all that, like my background is just, I was in sales. I worked for BMW and I sold cars, and I kind of caught up in like making decent money, but not having like I didn't have a family or any other reason. So I kind of did the steering of drinking more and taking prescription medicine. And at that point, like I had lost my house, I lost cars, I lost like everything. And then I had gotten in trouble with the law. And this was like right about the time that her and I started dating, that I kept from Kendra.
She didn't tell me, y'all. I had no idea that she was basically.
But to be fair, her living the lifestyle, like showing a certain way on the internet, I kind of believed a little bit of it. I was like, damn, I got a good woman here. Like
she thought I had it together, and thought she had it together because
we did not.
On Facebook we had it together because that's the lives that we were living. So
so I got in trouble with the law, and I was actually on probation for my sentencing was 2 years, and that meant don't leave the county, don't go don't collect, like it was everything, like house arrest, no license, drug testing, all this stuff. I didn't have a job, I lost everything, and it was, thank God my grandparents let us
stay there.
Yeah, it was a mess. So
things were bad.
Yeah, I had my baggage on top of trying to be a good partner and a parent to Camden, and then she had hers, and we were literally at the point of like, oh my God.
So one day I thought that maybe my life was falling apart because I was with a woman, because of the way that I was raised, and I still hold a lot of my beliefs. I'll get there, but I just thought maybe this is because I bleed love. Like it doesn't matter whether it's a woman or a man, or like that's just who I am. And I thought, okay, well maybe this is why, like God's taken his hand off my life because I'm with a woman. And so I just had this moment, like this total 2 moments. There were 2 defining moments. The first moment was I'd had a really, really freaking bad day. Like, all this storm was going on, right? And I had a really bad day, and I was picking up Camden from his dad's, who, by the way, is here at Disney with us right now. Like, we're all together at Disney, co-parenting together. It's crazy. But so I was there. He was having a really bad day. I picked him up. He didn't have any of his stuff packed, and I saw his Adderall sitting on the counter. And I had this moment where I was like, enough. Like, enough is enough. I'm tired of checking out mentally. I'm just tired of, like, feeling this way. And this has been 10 years, in the making of, like, checking out of my life with substance. And so that was the first moment that I truly believe God was like, all right, you ready? And the second one was, it was probably like a week later. I just had this like realization. I was like, I know that I'm so loved, you call creator, whatever you want to call it, whether it's God, universe, whatever you believe in your heart. I was like, I know I'm so loved and so divinely created that if I am doing something wrong, that I will be set on the right path. I'm just going to trust that. And I literally just like gave up everything. I was like, I'm done pushing this business that I think is right. I'm done pushing this relationship. I'm just done like holding so tightly onto everything that I was trying to make work, and I just let go. Man, it wasn't a week later that I saw Christina Figueroa's beautiful, long, flowy blonde hair.
I didn't think she was real at first. I was like, wow, like, who is she?
We thought she was a fake person. And literally reached out to her and she canceled my invoice on me 3 times for ketones, y'all. 3 times, because I could not afford it. We did not have I didn't have $60, let alone $120 to get her one. And she was like, I want to try it. And I was like, we don't have the money.
Yeah. And at that time, like, I had been working this job that I like legit was making like $120 a week.
And not sometimes like 80.
Yeah,
sometimes
it was
$80.
ridiculous. And then everything I had, I like gave to her to pay whatever bills at, or whatever.
She was driving, and what was it?
It was an 89 Buick
with
Sabre.
Maroon.
It was nice.
With the maroon interior, right? Like, this is real. I'm not even kidding.
Like, I mean, like, and now on top of that car, it was like breathalyzer on the car.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you couldn't start it unless I blew into it.
Ash, that car is so you, Ash. Come on.
Camden loved it.
Oh,
he wanted
loved
to
it.
always like go riding. We lived in like the country at this time. He always wanted to like go riding like through the fields. But so we get these 2 10-day experiences finally.
It was a birthday gift.
Yeah, after Christina being like 3 times like, yo, you got to pay this. I was like, oh, I don't know. To get
Hold on. Say that again, Ash. I want you to say that because you said that up to me up here. You told me your story of how you got your first 5 and 10 day. I remember you said the first 3 were canceled. And then you made it. Wasn't it you, Ash, that made the decision to get it as a birthday gift, or vice versa?
She was like, I want to get you a gift or whatever, and we didn't have any money, and then it was like this stuff had been like popping up so much, and I could not stop thinking about it. Like, for a product that I'm not really into, I don't really get into that stuff or anything, but I just could not stop thinking about this product. And I said, babe, I would really like it as a birthday gift. And she said, okay, I'm going to pay it. And that's what started it. It was my birthday gift, and it was the best gift I've ever got.
I'll never forget ripping open the packets when we got them, ripping them open and just like trying them. Within an hour, we just went live on Facebook, and this like craziest thing happened. Like, we just started talking.
Yeah, it was.
And like just being super real about how we felt. I mean, we went live within an hour. We had no idea what we were even talking about.
It felt like,
no.
And I don't know if it was just like the buildup and the anticipation, and like it felt like Christmas and opening this, and then when we tried it, it felt like everything else that was like hovering over us just kind of went away for a minute. And we had to like.
It went away it never came back.
Well, no, but I'm saying like it just like we were like, oh, we have to talk about this, and that's.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you both a quick question. What today would not exist in your life if you had made a decision, Ash, to go out that night for your birthday, or to go get the traditional cake and blah, blah, blah. Like, let me ask you, what would be missing right now from your life if you would have made a decision? And the reason I say this, everyone, is remember, the people that you are having this conversation with, people do what they want to do. Like, straight up, people do what they want to do. You're looking for people that are looking for opportunity in their life. When Christina canceled the invoice on them, do you think that she knew what their circumstances are? Do you think she knew Kendra's battle for the last how many years with significance and issues in her life and holding on to things too tightly? No. The point is that hopefully what you're gaining so far from this is that you don't know what's on the other end of that message. You never know what's on the other end of that message. This is a couple that has gone literally from not being able to afford their 5 and 10 day experience to now almost a 6-figure, maybe even they've hit a 6-figure a month income. They were damn close when they were here. 6 figures a month, and they could not afford their 5 and 10 days. So how many people out there are you lacking patience with? Are you not having a little bit of grace, right? When you're interacting with them? This is a whole different dynamic right now that we're talking about. So seriously, for both of you, what would not exist in your life if you did something different in making that decision?
I mean, we wouldn't.
Everything.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
my joy, I mean, forget all the stuff, right? Like the 6-figure a month income, like it's pretty significant. I'm going to be honest. Like it's pretty badass, but
it doesn't compare to how I feel. Like the best way I could describe it is I constantly wanted to escape my life before. I never wanted to live my life. I never wanted, like, every day I woke up, I was like that's how I woke up. And the money does not, I mean, yeah, it's fun, but to be able to wake up and be excited and be present and be able to, like, be excited and present with her and with our kid, it's like what it has done to our minds is just
give me my joy back. Like I don't think I've felt like real joy as an adult, and that's sad to say because I have a 4-year-old son. So for 4 years of his life almost, I felt like I was missing. That it gave me the ability to enjoy motherhood, not just moments of it, not just pieces, but all of it, and our whole lives. Like it gave me my life back, or maybe for the first time.
I've never felt this happy before in my entire life. My better mood, like, that is a fact.
That's significant. You can't even call it better mood's not
it's
even
like
enough. Like
better life, better everything, better.
Love it. So let me ask you now, when you first got started, did y'all just tiptoe around things, or here's one thing I know about Kendra, and here's one thing I know about both of you as a dynamic together, is that when there's a challenge out there, or when there's the ability to go, y'all just have an on button, and I don't know where the off button is because I haven't seen it yet. What did you do? Because there's just 2 things that I want to hit on right now, and that is number 1. Did it take hard work? Number 1. And then I'll ask the second one. So what did your work look like when you got started and you really got passionate? Because obviously you had to be a little bit creative. You didn't have resources to just be able to do anything that you wanted to do. So, there's probably a lot of people here that say, well, so there's people that, they have such a leg up on me because they have an advantage. They have resources. They have a good job. They have X, Y, Z. What did you do? What did it look like getting started, and how did you execute that? Like, I don't even know at that time, you probably made just enough money to get yourself on the plane to get to Utah at that time. Yeah. And
this laptop is so funny. Like, so I was like, I need a new Mac. I was like, the messages are like, I need a new Mac. So we went on, and this is real life, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Flexshopper.com. Okay. They let you pay weekly payments, astronomical weekly payments. It's like
No
like
credit
what do they call it? It's like the Rent-A-Center for laptops. I was like, I gotta get one. No, don't cut a check, please. So I went on there, got a new one. I had my phone sitting in the kitchen, at our kitchen table. It was summertime. It was like starting to get summer, so it was really hot. We didn't have air conditioning, grinding.
But mind you, the job that I had, we had figured out it was costing us too much money, and with the money that I was making. So we literally started this job with barely any money. I quit my job, and I said, you know what? Let's do this. And I mean, we didn't have money to buy an experience pack, but we knew this, the way that this made us feel, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's take it on. Let's just get other people to feel the same way we did. That was our goal. And
we just never stopped. I don't think I looked up for my phone for 3 weeks.
Longer.
Okay, so I might still have a problem looking up for my phone.
Hey, it's okay. Okay, it is okay. Listen to a little bit of Grant Cardone. They talk about that. He does some really good talks on, that couple dynamic, and how I love how Elena talks about, it's like, if you want to be with a winner, you got to pay the price to be with a winner. You have to expect to be with a winner. If you want to win big, it's not sitting on the couch watching Netflix. That ain't going to happen if you are with a winner. Expect, if you're with a winner, to up your game, because they're going to win. And you have to expect them to win, and you have to know that they're going to be working always towards that win. But it's exciting, isn't it? Why? Because what happens when Kendra is looking down at her phone and constantly crushing it? Well, she gets to take her entire family, even the co-parenting aspect of it, into Disney World for an all expenses paid, experience. Their money right now is not buying them things at Disney. It's buying them an experience that will last, and it will go, and it will live with them for the rest of their life. Why? Because that's the thing that you have to learn very, very quickly, is that things will come and go, but experiences last forever. And hopefully many of you are focused in on having experiences with your communities, having experience with those that are around you, and working hard towards those experiences. It's so cool because when I asked y'all to start doing some dream building and hashtag dream building, I saw a lot of things, but I saw a lot of people that started posting experiences, experiential things that they are looking forward to achieving and accomplishing. And I promise you those things will last forever. So next question for you, Kendra and Ash, is, Kendra, has this business, has this opportunity absolutely challenged you to your core, even to the point, now you and I have had some very deep conversations and it's been a lot, but here's the thing. What you have to understand is, you know, with great reward also comes great responsibility. With wanting to pursue leadership and having the responsibility for so many people looking up to you, because, you know, it's TD Jakes talks about, if you hear Brian talk about it all the time, it's like many of us are like that dog that's chasing the car. Why? Because we want it, right? We want it. We've identified we want that thing. Here's what you weren't counting on. Holy shit, what happens if I catch it? You're that dog. I want you to imagine a dog that actually catches the vehicle that it's chasing and it's barking at. Now what do? Here's what I'm going to tell you. You better hold on because you're about to have the ride of your freaking life. And the goal is not to fall off at 80 miles an hour and roll down the freeway and freaking die, right? So the point is that, you know, this is going to challenge you. Building a big community and building a big check is going to absolutely challenge you. Here's what's cool. You don't have to be anyone special here to do it. Trust me. If I can do it, you can freaking do it. Okay. Nate, stop shaking your head in agreement. Okay. So if I can do it, you can do it, and anyone else can do it. And that's what's so awesome, because we have such a great platform, a great product, a great rewards program. You don't have to be a guru. I saw somebody say it on here. You don't have to fake it till you make it. You don't have to do any of that crap. You just have to be you, and you have to be willing to work. You have to be willing to follow the play that works, and you'll learn everything you need to learn along the way. But let's dig in a little bit, Kendra, because you've come to some very real realizations. And I think that this part will actually help most people on here, because many of us, just like me, I went through the battle of ego. I went through the battle of self-significance. I was literally, when I started in this industry, I did it more for recognition than I did it for the check. Literally, you could have not paid me anything. I didn't care. I just wanted to hear my name. I just wanted to see my significance being filled. I wanted other people to talk good about me. I was literally, and so many of you are like this, whether you admit it or not. You're searching for significance. You say things, you do things, the actions that you take, the things that you do are in search for self-significance. And it's a very selfish place to be. It's really hard to help other people when all you have in mind is yourself. And I can say that with the utmost transparency. I battled it through a majority of my, if you want to call it career here or whatever, just in life. Why? Because I was constantly trying to feed my ego. And eventually I had to get to a point of a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of awareness, to realize that really all I was doing was stunting my own growth. I had to be willing to grow. And that's what I've seen with Kendra and Ash. And I know Kendra and I have been really, talking about this more recently. So Kendra, like, what were some of your breaking points in growth? Like, what were some of those sticking points that now you've literally overcome? And I'm so excited for you, but this is a point that I really wanted to touch on.
Yeah. So I had a mentor of mine tell me, I asked him, like, where are my biggest growth points? Really super eager. I'm super cool. Like, I always want to learn. Like, I'm like, just tell me, where are my biggest points for growth? Like, just show me, and he was like, your ego is through the charts. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, in my head, ego meant like confidence. Like, I was picturing like a big ego person who's like super full of themselves. And I was like, that's not me. Like, I don't understand. I spent 2 months grappling with this, right? 2 months. No, I was just like, I don't understand. LCD training, y'all. I literally left there, but kind of sobbing, messaging Brian, like, ego is not, so my entire life I've been seeking to be somebody, to be significant, to be like, someone tell me I'm pretty, get 400 likes on a post, like these little things that I didn't even realize that it's ego is not, it's not necessarily that you're so full of yourself, that I was so full of myself. It was that I needed that constant feed. I needed someone, whether it be my partner or a boss or a business partner, it didn't matter. I needed to constantly feed that. It was like an insatiable desire. And what coming into this arena and having things grow, it inflated that. It, like, when you feed your ego constantly, it just makes it like, it's like hungrier. It's a never satisfied desire. And I didn't understand why I started to feel so, I felt like I was like scratching sandpaper in my business. I was like, I don't understand. We have everything. Like, why is this not feeling the way that I expected this success to feel? Why does it feel so hollow? I felt hollow for the last couple of months up until LCD. And I was upset, and I started to get like angry and just like just had what I do. I tend to just like kind of disconnect when I'm like going through stuff. So I started to kind of disconnect again and just be like, I don't understand. And then it hit me, the ego thing. I was making decisions. I was making things based on like our check and what we were doing and our family and this and that. And I was like, man, it's not about that. Like, it's not about that. And I can't tell you how freeing that feeling is, to literally say, like, it's not about us anymore. It's not. Like, it's so much bigger. It's so much more. And that feeling feels so different. It feels so different every day to wake up. Like, I truly never understood, like, it was like a Prüvit thing, like bigger purpose and better and all this. And then when it hit me, I was like, oh shit, we get to be a part of this. We get to be a part of something that isn't really about, like, if you look around at the community, if you get yourself to an event and you look around at the community, you're not going to see a bunch of Barbie dolls. You're not. You're going to see people that look so different, all succeeding in an arena because someone believed in them. Like, we get to just believe in people and give them a product that works. And to be a part of that, like, that is huge. And I'm so grateful for it. And like I had said to Brian, in my, in the past thing that I was doing, the arena was built to feed that significance and feed that ego. And that is the structure of network marketing. Okay, that's like the network marketing structure. Community-based marketing does the opposite of that. And that's huge, because that other arena is going to set people up to fail, to hurt each other, to not end in a good space. And this is so different. And to be a part of this, like, it's a responsibility and it's an absolute honor.
I'm really glad it's dark over here. Y'all are hard to interview. I mean, damn. I don't even know what else to say. Maybe let's go ahead and leave it with this. So maybe what are the top 3 highlights since being in Prüvit, the top 3 most memorable moments for each of you? I want to hear from each of you, your top 3 most memorable moments while building this business and building your dreams and really, focusing in on the things that you're trying to accomplish, obviously, in this bigger picture.
That's tough. That's really tough. Top 3 memorable moments.
Well, the one I can tell you, one, like in the company, being a part of this company that really hit me was Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my biggest breakthrough.
What about it, Ash? What about it was your biggest breakthrough?
Because I had not been able to experience any of this besides seeing this on a computer screen or my phone, and just seeing Brian and Sylvia and BU, and like just seeing all these people, Josh, like I had this like resentment towards Josh. I love Josh now. But I was like, man, like, how come my girlfriend can go hang out with all these people and all she does is talk about how great they are? And I don't understand. Like, I was so resentful. Like, I had not been around this community. I was just like, I don't get it, And when I was in Vegas, like, meeting everybody and being in, like, just in the presence of everybody, I was like, oh, my God. These people are the most genuine people I have ever met, and I want to hang out with them. I want to be a part. Like, Brian talks about, like, the law of association and the proximity and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I just want to hang out with these people. And the type of event with the speakers and the science and Brian Underwood, this guy that I was like, who is this guy? You know, and every time him and Michael Rutherford spoke, I like looked at Kendra and I was like, oh my God.
She gets it now.
I get it. Like, I totally get it. There was no more resentments. Like, I was apologizing. I told Josh in Alaska, I was like, man, you are cool. I like you. It's great. Like, you're a genuine guy. Like, everybody I've ever met has just been genuine. And so Vegas was like, just being able to be around all these powerful people that I guess I assumed had it all together. And hearing everybody's story, I was like, damn. Like that was my first like breakthrough with everything.
You're like, wow, everybody's just as messed up as I am. We're just a whole bunch of messed up people pursuing better. How awesome is that, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So it doesn't have to be 3, but Kendra, give us your biggest, maybe 1 or 2 or whatever hits your brain. Like whatever's like, oh my gosh, like this is just a, you know, was such an incredible experience.
People just came. So my grandma raised my mom and my aunt. But let me do like that's the background of why. But she raised both my mom and my aunt as a single mom, and she worked in hotel hospitality. Started off cleaning hotel rooms, cleaning, you know. And so we were in Utah at the very end of the event. Brian asked us to get out some money and hold it up in the air, and start to think about all the things we were grateful for and everything, and had us leave this money, had us all drop this money. I mean, you have to be there to experience this at one of our events, but it is literally one of my favorite things about Prüvit. It hit me so hard right in the feels. It was like, let's leave everything better than we found it and be a blessing to someone else. And I was like, that was my first like glimpse of like, this is so different. So that was literally one of my favorite first, like it will always stand out to me as one of my first favorite Prüvit moments.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank y'all for tuning in here live from Disney. So cool that y'all can be there experiencing that with your little one and family. Super, super cool. Thank you for bearing with me here on the, on my end of the house, on my end. So if you jumped on this late, yes, I am sitting here with no power, but it's okay. Why? Because the power came from Kendra and Ash as they started to really share their story. And I think everyone agrees with that. Give me a big thumbs up if this interview impacted you and definitely infused some goodness in your life. Awesome. Beautiful.